3% of population has any kind of PC, whether it's a desktop or a notebook. Out of this 3%, only 30% have laptops, which means what we are talking about is less than 1% penetration rate for laptops on a 1.2 billion people on a census which was taken 10 years back. So maybe this 1.2 billion, I don't know where does it stand today. So from a potential perspective, there's no other country in the world which has the same potential as India. Because we believe internally we don't have the necessary strengths or the infrastructure to address a government kind of a vertical, but we will certainly be focusing on the consumer and the education as a segment. On the consumer, we have two methods of addressing this. One is through our set of exclusive and multi-brand stores that we have. Today we have close to 56 exclusive outlets and close to 550 multi-brand outlets selling Toshiba products. Our plan is to expand this 56 to 81 and 550 to close to 750 multi-brand outlets. This is one approach, not just the quantity but also the quality of these shops. We are going to invest a lot of money in making sure that these shops look much better, gives the right kind of customer experience to shop, and they are able to communicate our technology strengths well to the customers. The second area how we will approach the consumers or the home segment is the LFRs. So we already indicated that we are working with Chroma currently and we will be having 2 more. So this is how we are going to address the consumer space. On the education space, we have already kick-started our set of activities. We are actually looking at education from 2 perspectives. One is a institutional purchase, those institutes purchasing and giving to the students. Second is the students themselves buying. The institutional purchase, the program has been running now for last 1 month. We have already started contacting the institutes. There's a kind of lead generation program that's happening at our end. Once the leads are generated, they are classified into hot, warm and cold leads, which are then passed on to our channel partners, dealers, for them to manage the lead along with our own sales teams to position the product and so on and so forth. That's on the institutional side. On the consumer side of things, we will be kickstarting the activity this Friday. Maybe once you land in India, you will see our first advertisement for targeting the students who are buying on their own. Globally, I think HP is number 1, yes. Acer is number 2, Dell is number 3, we are number 4. Yeah. When it comes to Japan, he has already indicated it's the 85-90% of the market share is between 3 brands: Toshiba, NEC, and Fujitsu. Sony in Japan has only 6% market share. 11 SKUs last content, rather end of May. These products starts from 26,500 onwards, going up to 55,000 rupees. One of the product is this Core i3. It's a 15.6-inch notebook with a 3GB, 320GB, no operating system kind of a model. So what we believe is it's not just price. In each category, okay, in each functionality category, the customers are looking at various choices. For example, the product that I talked about is going to be with a 15.6-inch screen, so which means it's bigger. Weight is going to be around 2.6 kilograms, right? And those are targeted towards value for money customers. Right. This is not targeted towards value for money customers. This is for people who travel a lot, who wants to travel light, okay, and who also wants to have a large battery life. This is going to have close to 8 hours of battery life. That is not going to have 8 hours of battery life. So there are various differences between each, which is why we always go by functionality. There are customers who are looking at a specific type of product. There you might look at an i3 option or an i5 option, or somebody would look at a 12-inch or a 13-inch or a 11-inch. So if I look at my Core i3 range, it starts at 32,500 We will also have an option of Core i3. We also already have an option of Core i3 at around 40,000, which is in a different specification. We are going to bring in a 11-inch screen-based model, again close to around 50,000. So every price band has a different kind of customers. So it's more from a functionality perspective rather than a price perspective. Already have a product like Cosmio as our own GPU. We also have a satellite model in our current lineup, which we have launched as part of our 11 models. This is with a Core i5 processor with 4 GB, 500 GB, and a dedicated graphics of 1 GB on a 8A platform. Is already available in the market at 60,000 rupees. Madison 8A Madison graphics chipset with a 1 GB of dedicated VRAM. So we have a product there as well. Yeah. So which is why we have different set of customers. So we might have in the same price band 3 different models. One could be a thin and light, one could be a full-fledged large machine. Okay. So we are not looking at just price band and say in this price band I will have only one product or one model. If we believe there are different customers in that price band looking for different form factors. During this question, I'll give you one live example. Last weekend, we were in a roadshow in Mumbai. Okay, we had the 1 GB dedicated graphics model, and we also had a 11-inch model on display. Sorry, 13-inch model on a display without optical drive. The 13-inch model was available at 50,000 rupees. This was available at 55,000 rupees, 57,000. The difference is only 7,000. This is a Core i5 with dedicated graphics with 4 GB, 500 GB. This is Core 2 Duo, ULV, 3 GB, 320 GB. Okay, no dedicated graphics, no optical drive. The only thing is it is light and weight. So when the customer walked in, he went and stood near the lightweight model and asked about the details. So I asked him, what is your application? So he said, email, chatting. For my house, I want my son and wife to use. I'll also be using it. So I said, if this is the case, you are not requiring battery life. Is battery life important for you? He said no. Is performance important for you? He said no. Then I said, why don't you go for the 15-inch model, because it has a dedicated graphics. Your son can play games, you can do work, and battery life is not a problem, and you will have a bigger screen. He was very particular, he will buy only the 13-inch. So today customers are not choosing products based on just price. They are not looking at 25,000 I'm getting an i7 or an i5. They are looking at what do I like. He said, I want to buy this because it looks thin and light and it looks nice. I want to buy it. Today or maybe 1 year down the line, the majority volume is going to be in the top 15 cities. But from a future growth perspective, it's the city number 16 onwards, maybe till city number 40 or 45. As a growth potential, those cities are very potential, but in terms of today's volume, they are not big. So we, as a brand, focus on both. We are certainly focusing on the top 15 cities to grow our market share, because if we have to grow our market share, the fastest growth for us can come in these top 15 cities. But at the same time, we are expanding our presence into those rest of the cities as well, which is why you will find that our service centers, we are already present in 45 cities, and we are taking it to another 10 more. Right? The idea is create a presence there, both in the form of a sales and service presence. So when those cities becomes much larger in volume, we are able to reap the benefit. OTG R700 is a kind of a, customers are typically in the commercial side, in the B2B side, people who travel a lot. Anybody who has a lot of travel, who has a requirement of large battery life, those are the customers. On the consumer side also, we have seen there are a lot of owners of small companies. There are people who are not our professionals, like doctors, lawyers, who again travel a lot. There are people who are consultants to various companies, who again travel a lot. There are a set of people who are there for this R700 kind of product. The same kind of segment is also there for W700, the Libretto.
Is this customer?